Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dylan James. I'm a mindset coach that loves to specifically focus on relationships. And today we're skipping the intro, and I have my daddy hat back on because I saw a few comments about the daddy hat. You guys are so cute. Thank you for all the sweet comments on my channel. And today we're going to be talking about persisting. We're going to be talking about circumstances. We're going to talk about how to persist because I think there's some confusion on my channel. And I'm going to differentiate it into two different ways when it comes to manifesting. Before we even get into this topic, okay, you can manifest anything. You really can. Okay. I know there's a lot of people that doubt manifesting or they fear manifesting because they think, oh, it's just wishful thinking. I'm going to get hurt. It doesn't actually work. It fucking works. It works. It works. Okay. Now, for it to work for you, you have to believe that it can work for you. And you need to take an approach that feels good and actually really understand what it is that you're doing. So before I even get into persisting and circumstances and aligning your thoughts in a very pure way, because this is all about disciplining your mind. When you get very proficient at manifesting, you're going to recognize that it is all in your mind, what your awareness is, and disciplining your awareness in the direction of your goals and your desires and your dreams, and feeling as though and consistently revisiting that feeling that it is done, that you're confident that it's done, and you are aware of what it is that you exactly want, and you know it's going to occur, period. Not, oh, I hope it's going to occur. Maybe it will. Oh, but all these things are going on. And how is this going to change? And all these focuses on circumstances and problems. Before we even get into this video, it does not make sense. It does not make sense to want something and then spend all of your time focusing on all the problems and everything that is in the way. It doesn't. It's irrational. It is not rational for you to sit here and say, I really, really want this thing, but I don't think it can happen. And they said this and they're doing that. And this is in the way. And now I don't know. And I want to believe, and I'm trying to affirm that it's going to be okay. And I'm working on my beliefs, but I don't think it's going to happen. And it doesn't make sense. And I want to say that compassionately because I understand, but also at the same time, I'm going to push you to your limit right now and tell you, decide what it is that you want. Stop flip-flopping on yourself. Decide what it is that you want and align all of your beliefs, your thoughts, and your awareness with that want consistently and stop complaining about it. It's going to occur if you can get in an actual confident, aligned state and continually pleasantly expect that this desired outcome is going to occur. And the only time that process does not feel good is if you don't believe in yourself, if your self-concept's not in alignment, if you're lacking confidence, and you're giving more dominantly into your worries, doubts, and fears. So like if somebody came into your house and they stole your car, or they stole the clothes out of your closet, or they stole money out of your bank account, you would not sit here and victimize yourself over it. You'd be like, excuse me, what are you doing? No, sir. No, ma'am. You're not going to be taking my stuff. You would definitely feel very confident about that. So with these other things that you want to create in your life, like if it's a person and you're worried about them and third parties and all these things, you need to go into your mind and be like, no, sir. No, ma'am. You're not taking my man. You're not taking my girl. Like, that's mine. And I'm not saying that in a like extremely possessive way of like controlling, like that is my person, like they can't do anything without that's not what I'm talking about. What I mean is decide what it is that you want and confidently believe in your ability to achieve it, and see nothing, give no attention to the challenges or the problems. Put your full attention on thoughts and beliefs that are aligned with what you want, period. That's it. When you dominantly exist that way, that's going to be what you get, what you want, period. That's it. It really is that simple. Now, let's talk about some ways that you can do this and ways that I've talked about it on my channel. Okay. So There's really two ways that you can approach this process. With either way that you take, no matter what, you need to work on your self-concept. Okay, which means the beliefs. I believe everything is possible. I believe that I can get what I want. I'm confident, I'm stable, I'm secure, I'm worthy of what I want. I know I can create the solution. The solution is coming to me now. I'm seeing the perfect path. I am allowing things to materialize. I'm seeing the evidences of manifestation. I'm seeing my thoughts create. I'm seeing everything working in my favor. You need to get those beliefs in alignment. There's two reasons why you need to get those beliefs in alignment. One, you need to believe in yourself. But two, when you do that, you really relax in your feeling state. So in my opinion, manifestation is a byproduct of your beliefs and your feeling state. And let's talk about the feeling state, because the feeling state doesn't mean elated emotions. So you're not going to be happy 24/7. You're not going to be confident 24/7. You're not going to be feeling love 24/7. But when your feeling state is aligned, you're dominantly relaxed and you're more dominantly entertaining experiences, thoughts, music, media, experiences that elicit the emotions that you want to experience in your life. Okay, so what I mean by aligning your feeling state is you're cutting out the doubts, the worries, the fears, the anxiety, the dwelling, depression, things like that. And you're deciding, oh, and you think about this rationally. If I believe in myself and I'm confident and I know everything is possible and I can get what I want, then, and I genuinely believe that dominantly, I'm going to be pretty fucking relaxed all the time. I'm going to be trusting that I'm going to know what to do, when to do, and how to do it. I'm going to trust in my ability to achieve what I want, which is going to cut out a lot of intrusive, negative, worried, doubtful, fearful thoughts, a lot of focuses on problems and challenges. I'm going to be able to dominantly align myself with being the solution and feeling really fucking good about that. Okay. So, like I said, at the core of whatever approach that I'm about to explain here, you need to get your beliefs in alignment. Because the moment that gets in alignment, these other processes, the techniques, are going to become very easy. Okay, so techniques, let's talk about what techniques are. Okay, so there's a few techniques that you can do. You can do affirming, you can do visualizing, you can do scripting, right? You can do, well, I think those are like the three main that most people do, right? Meditations, right? So those are all techniques. Techniques are there to help you land in the feeling states and give your mind a goal for it to subconsciously work towards in your body language and how you're perceiving your reality, how you're responding to your reality, and how things are manifesting in for you. So you do want to use techniques. And what I've talked primarily on my channel about is just knowing it, going straight to the end and thinking it's done. Okay. Now, I've said in my content, though, when you do that approach, okay, before you want to manifest anything, you want to make sure you have one very pure, aligned thought on that subject. If you don't have one very pure, aligned thought, or dominantly one very pure, aligned thought, and you're allowing yourself to entertain your doubts and your fears, you're going to get in your own way. It's going to become a very, very difficult and not fun process for you. So what I recommend people to do is to decide what it is that they want. And if they can't think about it in a very pure fashion, just go to it's done and drop it and let it go and work on your self-concept and feeling good and aligning your feeling states, pleasantly expecting that it's going to unfold. Okay. Now you can do that process and sleep with the beliefs on at nighttime. And anytime you think of what it is that you want, you're thinking that it's done. And it's done means like, okay, let's say I want a relationship with this person, or I want communication from this person, or I want everything to work out. Okay, so when I think about them, I'm going to think, yeah, we totally have good communication. It's done. I don't need to worry about that. You just keep soothing yourself and pleasantly expecting and dropping it, pleasantly expecting and dropping it, and moving about your day with a pleasant expectation. Okay. I recommend this process for most people because most people, it seems like they're very, very stressed out about what they want and they're obsessed with it. And so if they add in affirming all day long, like obsession and distress to me are a byproduct of not believing in yourself, because I really shouldn't be feeling worried or doubtful or fearful if I believe I can get what I want and I'm confident with myself. So this approach of just going to the end and it's done, and letting it go and focusing more on yourself gives you the ability to feel good within yourself. It drops a lot of the worry, doubt, and fear, and it allows for things to just naturally manifest in, and it does work, right? Like, you'll revisit the topic when it feels good, but you'll be in this pleasant expectation of it's done. That is the process that I most dominantly recommend for people. But if you notice, and if you go back to my videos, I've said, do not try to manifest something unless you have one very, very pure thought about it. And I've done videos in the past where I've said meditations throughout the day are very useful, or picking 3 or 4 statements and affirming that in while you're falling asleep at nighttime or throughout the day is going to be what you want to do when you're stable. Okay. I just want to say that one more time, because if you try, what a lot of people are trying to do is they're trying to jump straight to just affirming, and they're not believing in themselves, and they're feeling like shit about their circumstances, and then they're complaining and they're checking and they're feeling defeated, which keeps manifesting defeat. If that's where you are, take the first approach, relax, get your confidence in alignment and get your self-esteem in alignment. But once you're stable, the other approach that you can take is falling asleep in the assumptions that you're making. And when you have free time throughout the day, sitting down and doing short 10 to 15-minute meditations where you pick 3 or 4 affirmations or a scene that you keep repeating over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, saturating yourself, feeling as though that experience is occurring now. And that feeling too is not elated emotions. It means like you're affirming these things in, or you have this visualization and you're feeling like it's actually literally happening right now, and it feels very expansive and relaxed. And then you come out of it and you move on with your day. Okay. This is actually documented in the book Psycho-Cybernetics. And this is actually a technique that even athletes use. Okay. When they want to perform well in a game, they'll imagine themselves throwing that winning shot, throwing that winning shot, throwing that winning shot. And if you read the book Psycho-Cybernetics, you're going to see that a lot of coaches have talked about the power of visualization, and how when you inundate your consciousness with a visual, you're going to see it unfolds. I personally prefer affirmations, but I don't recommend this if you're not stable, because most people aren't actually understanding what manifesting is. They're not believing that it's real, and their beliefs aren't in alignment, and they think this is woo-woo, and they're just like trying to affirm for things, but then they're doubting it, and they're setting themselves up for failure, and then they get frustrated when it doesn't work, and they just trash the whole process. It works, but you need to take the right approach, which means you need to believe that it works. So you need to get your beliefs in alignment. And then if you feel confident enough, you can either know something's done and have a little few statements that you have, and you keep just saying it's done, or you can really, really focus on it and keep affirming it in throughout the day, or this visual throughout the day. And you're going to see that that unfolds too. Either way, both of these approaches will work. And I find that the first approach of just going straight to it's done and just living in that pleasant expectation typically is the best for things that you don't have a lot of resistance to, or you have a lot of resistance to, and you need to work more on your self-concept. So what I mean by that is, like, the things that manifest the quickest are the things that we don't have resistance to. We all know this. I'm not trying to say that as a limitation, but like if I think of something and I just drop it, move on with my day, and I don't think about it again, I'm automatically going to it's done, and I'll see that show back up in my reality, right? So I have no resistance to it. So that process works the best. If I have tons of resistance towards something and I'm finding my mind is dominantly focusing more on the problems and the circumstances, then taking this approach is going to allow for me to drop that focus, feel like it's done, and really align to that feeling state and that knowing, which also allows it to manifest. Okay. Now, the second approach does work, and I will use that if I have resistance to something and I really, really, really want to change my thoughts, my awareness on something, but I won't do it if I have too much resistance. Like it's stressing me out. Like I'm feeling like I need to affirm all day, every day. And I feel like I'm waiting for something, or I'm getting obsessed with it. The thing though with this, okay, so with whatever technique that you choose, you want to pick either 3 or 4 statements that elicit your end state, and you can build on that, or a visual that elicits your end state. Okay. And you don't want to change those things until it manifests. Okay. Then you build it, then you build it, then you build it. The thing with all of these techniques though, is you are not going to try to force it to happen. You need to trust that, oh, as I continually entertain this, as I continually entertain this, as I continually entertain this, you're going to see it show up as your experience. It has to. This is not a matter of if and or buts. Okay. The only time you're going to get in your way is when you're doubting the process, you're not believing that it's going to work, or you're more dominantly focused on the problems and the circumstances than the solution and what it is that you want. And it's not rational to focus on the circumstances and all the problems. It's not. So if I want something and every day I'm waking up focusing on everything that's in the way, I'm not going to get what I want. So you have to decide, what do you want, and put your focus all the way there. And if you can't put your focus all the way there, it's because you're not believing in yourself and you need to work on your self-concept. If I genuinely believe in myself and my ability to create and achieve and have anything that I want, then I should be able to say a statement like, this person totally wants to be with me, and I'm going to believe it. Why? Because I believe that I'm worthy of what I want. Now, the other thing here, though, too, is you don't need to, somebody asked me, do you need to believe the statements? No, because you could be working on your self-concept at the same time, right? So if I'm saying something like, oh, this person, this is going to work out for me, this is going to work out for me, this is going to work out for me, and I'm also working on the belief that everything is working out for me, then as I integrate this belief, I'm going to believe this statement more. So there is going to be a growth process, but you should get to a point where you're so confident that like you'll be able to start affirming things in. And although it's not in front of you, you believe in your ability to achieve anything that it is that you want. So you're not feeling like you're lying to yourself because you trust the process so much. Okay. So I hope this answered some questions for you, gave you some insight on how to persist, and you're limitless. You really can create anything. You need to believe that though first. Stop giving into your fears, your doubts, and insecurities. Decide what it is that you want and believe that it can happen for you. Okay. Alrighty. I love you all so much. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you later.